Hi everyone, welcome to Sassy Sonya Sews. I know you see my little plastic um, shipping bag, but I have something today that I'd like to, go over with everyone and see everybody's opinion and tell you about my findings. Today I want to talk about, on Sassy Sonya Sews, quilt kits. So I have purchased a few of them, and I just want to go over with you the differences that I find. So some quilt kits, all you get is the fabric. So this one I purchased from Lo and Behold Stitchery, and everything is included in this little packet here, um, except for the backing material. And I don't remember if this one has the binding, but this kit has everything that I need to make one quilt top. And so, as you can see, the only thing included in this particular quilt kit is just the top fabric. What I had to do was purchase the pattern itself separately. And so this is what is needed to make everything that is in this little packet here. So that is one type of a quilt kit. Then I saw a quilt that I liked, and so it came only in a quilt kit. And so I purchased it, and this is the fabrics. So as you can see in this quilt kit, I will be cutting out all of the different shapes, strips, and what have you for this particular quilt. In this quilt kit, you can see on the top here, these are squares. I don't remember if they're 5-inch or 4.5-inch, but there's the squares there. This is the binding fabric. You can see a little snippet of the white fabric here, and behind, underneath this, there are fabric pieces that are cut in half to make a triangle. And so these white pieces and the cut in half fabric pieces will make half square triangles. And so this particular quilt kit did come with the pattern that is needed. Gave me a little bit of a snapshot of the types of fabrics that are in here. So this particular quilt kit is, the pieces are all cut and the pattern was included. Now, since this quilt kit was a pretty good deal, they did have the option of having the backing fabric that you could purchase along with the quilt kit. So that's what I went ahead and did. So this particular quilt kit does have all of the fabric. It's got the binding. I have the backing. So pretty much after everything is all sewn, all I need to do is supply the batting for this particular quilt kit. So again, we have just fabric in the quilt kit that needs to be cut and readied for the pattern that had to be purchased separately. Now we have a quilt kit where you have all of the pieces cut for you. You've got the backing fabric included, and the pattern came along with the quilt kit. This is going to be the finished version, so you're going to be using this as kind of a guide as to the different fabrics that are here and the placement of them. And then I have over here, I have a quilt kit. It's got a little bit more fabric to it than the other two. Again, you see, so this is, in the kit itself is the background fabric. Then we have the border fabric. So that one little bundle is quite big. And then we have, all included in the same quilt kit, more fabric. And so just like this first one here, I am going to have to be processing and cutting out the individual pieces in order to make the quilt blocks. So when I say that I'm going to need to process these fabrics in this one and in this one, I'm going to be starching the fabric. From this packet, I definitely will starch the background fabric. Not necessarily do I always starch the border fabric. So that is going to be... Now, I thought when I purchased this quilt kit, just let me go on a little side trail here, that this was a purple fabric, but I'm not really sure that it's purple. It looks a kind of a little bit like gray. So if anybody has an idea or opinion, definitely give me a shout out on what you think this color is. But as much as I would like it to be a very, very light purple lavender color, I think it's more in the gray family. So anyway, so these two bundles here came in the quilt kit, and also included in this quilt kit is the pattern for this particular quilt kit. So, and then it goes through the different quilt blocks that you'll be making from all of the fabrics that were included. So it's just interesting to me how you have the difference in the types of quilt kits that are available to you. So this one is not going to get starched. When I first started quilting, I didn't starch fabric. I didn't know that there was such a thing as starting fabric. I started seeing things from Kimberly Jolly from the Fat Quarter Shop. She is a firm believer in starching, and so she starched things. So I thought, well, since my blocks weren't turning out very well at all, and it was more of a frustration for me than it was a joy, I said, let me try starching fabric. And so I am also a firm believer that you have better control over your fabrics and creating your quilt blocks if you starch the fabric. So I, whenever possible, definitely do starch the fabric. So this is going to get starched. These are going to get starched. This will not be starched because the pieces are already cut out. So even though this seems like a relatively easy quilt kit, I'm going to make sure that I am super careful because there won't be the rigidness of these fabrics as I'm sewing them. So they're going to be moving around more as it goes through the sewing machine. So I'll definitely want to make sure that I pay attention and go slow and not feel rushed doing this, even though I like to make the blocks and I like to get them all put together so that I can see what it looks like. I don't starch my backing fabric. I don't feel that I need to starch that. There are some quilters out there that do starch their backing fabric, but I will not be starching my backing fabric. So I just wanted to, do a fun little thing and go, you know what? I have several different quilt kits, so let's just talk about that for half a second and go over the differences that there are out there. And so, as you can see, I do have quite a few projects now that are just quilt kits, and this is going to be quite a bit of work for me to do. Definitely, this is Tula Pink's butterfly quilt version number 2. They brought back the pattern, and as you can see, it's colorful and it looks like it has a lot, but actually I think all in all it only has 10 different blocks. There's multiple other blocks because you're making the left side and the right side of the butterfly. So, this is one block, but there's 10 of these blocks that are in this quilt. So, that is all I had for you today. Again, I would like to thank everyone for stopping by and sharing and watching our Sassy Sonya Sews videos. We so appreciate everyone who is a subscriber for us. We always look for any comments you might want to make and or questions that you might have. But I just thought I'd go over the different quilt kits. Happy sewing!